Good morning and welcome to Joy in Our Town. I'm your host, Sue Perez. Well, when we think about unemployment, we don't always think about veterans. We don't always think about disabled veterans. So today we're going to be discussing disabled veterans in the workforce and how unemployment is affecting them and they're being affected by it in all realms. So we have today three gentlemen, and you at home can stand up and salute them, but they're going to have to stay seated for now. But let's welcome Robert Thomas Brown. And Robert, you're the president of the statewide organization Disabled Veterans Business Alliance. How did you get to be that?
I don't know, by default, I think. I'm standing in the right place at the right time, but it's an organization that's been developing since 1989, and we're reaching our full potential now. Mm-hmm. So,
you, sir, I understand, are a Navy man.
I served in the Navy. I'm a Vietnam era veteran and a disabled veteran from that conflict, yes.
All right. Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And you, David Dickey, welcome to the show with us today. And you're over the Orange County and San Diego chapters?
Correct. And
tell us about yourself.
Oh, sure. Former Marine officer, served 2 tours in Iraq, and right after that started my own business and very involved with Disabled Veteran Business Alliance in California as well as other veteran employment and transition organizations.
Okay. And Matt, you're our testimonial today. Matt Downs, welcome to the show, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
I was a Staff Sergeant in the United States Marine Corps. From 2000 I joined and recently got out in 2009. I did a tour in Iraq in 2006 and 2007, and I met up with Dr. Brown recently after I got out, hit the ground running from there.
All right. Well, good to have all of you. We're going to go back to you, Robert, and talk about what exactly your organization is and what it actually does.
Our organization is basically set up to find and train entrepreneurs. We believe there's an entrepreneurial spirit in most everybody in this country, and if we can foster that through training and legislation and outreach, then that's what we do, and we do a pretty good job of that, actually. Mm-hmm. So.
And what means do you use to get this job done then?
Well, I have an office in Sacramento, and I have an executive director there, so we're sitting on the legislature all the time, mm-hmm. watching legislation that would affect us in any positive or negative way so that we can take action on it. And then we have a statewide information program we put out through our chapters, and we have chapter meetings. Statewide, we have a little over 1,200 members. So our numbers are growing and have grown quite well over the last few years. As more and more veterans come into the community, more of them that are disabled and can take advantage of the legislation that has provided a 3% goal for state agencies to spend money with us. Mm-hmm. We like that.
Yeah. Now, we talked a little bit about this in our pre-show. But I think it's important for the viewers to understand what being disabled is, legally, certifiably, I guess the term I would use, and how our state deals with that.
The state deals with it at a 10% level. So if you come out of the service with a disability of any kind, it could be wounded in action, it could be exposure to Agent Orange, or like me, I can't hear very well. You're given a rating by the VA. That rating is at 10% or better. Then you get an entree into the state programs at that level. Then you are certified by the state by using that certification, by that disability, and by serving some commercial useful function. Your business has to be a commercial useful function, not a pass-through. And we have to put in tax records. I mean, there's quite a few hoops we have to jump through, but once you're certified, then you can get into the mix to bid on state projects, or go in with prime contractors as a subcontractor, or in some cases be a prime. And the agencies of the state, including the investor-owned utilities, have a 3% goal to meet with doing business, contracting business with us. Mm-hmm. And we play that advantage the best we can.
All right, excellent. Well, I'm gonna skip right over to you, Matt, because let's put a face to this. You're here today, and I mean, you look fine, and yet you're considered disabled. Talk to us about that.
Well, I started doing the VA process immediately after I got out, mm-hmm. and I went through all my tests. I filed a claim. Doctors put me through a series of tests, and one of my things was hearing. So I, as well, can't hear so good. Well, they gave me a 10% rating right off the bat, and that was before I'd met Dr. Brown. When I did meet Dr. Brown, he says, well, are you rated by the VA? I said, yes, 10%. He says, good. You can certify with the state as a DVBE, start your own business, and you're entitled to these state funds.
And what are your goals?
My goals, this time next year, to be, off the ground, certified DVBE, and doing business with the state on a regular basis.
Do you have what field what industry you're gonna get involved with, or?
Yes, I'm following Dr. Brown in the energy efficiency field. Anything having to do with energy efficiency within the state, lighting, heating, air conditioning, anything.
Now let me ask just kind of a curiosity question, but did you ever think you'd be at this place before you went into military service?
No, no.
Had you thought about energy efficiency before?
No.
So you were kind of forced on, it was kind of forced on you in a way.
I was thrown into the fire. Got a few phone calls from Dr. Brown, offering me work, and I was a little hesitant at first, but once I met him and he explained the deal, it was, I couldn't think of anything else to do. And especially in this industry right now emerging, it's a state of the art. This is new stuff. So
it's going to be around for a while.
Yes.
The whole field.
We're just getting going.
All right, so David, then you're the one that kind of where the rubber meets the road then in working with some of these people.
Right.
And Robert sits on the statewide aspect and helps get things funneled down to you. So talk to us about what your responsibilities are at your level.
What we do at the chapter or the local level, we have volunteers like myself all over the country, and we put together regular meetings to discuss latest opportunities. We bring customers like the state, or it could be a large prime contractor. Like the other day we had a large construction contractor, one of the small business representatives at the utilities. So we help make connections, but what we also do is invite service-connected veterans to help foster and give them information on how to start their own business in California.
That's excellent. Now let's talk about, Robert, about the unemployment rate where disabled veterans are concerned. Is it very high?
It's very high. It's at least twice what the standard rate is in the state of California, and then of course the homeless unit over and above that is just pathetic. And we're constantly trying to chip holes in that. He sent me an email the other day. There's a Marine on the street that has these skills, and he's homeless. We had him hired in
a day and a half.
Day and a half.
Wow.
Through our network.
Yeah. What were his skills, by the way?
I think it's construction, wasn't it?
Actually, he had logistics, but because of his time in the military, he also had a security clearance, which helped. But because of his logistics background, he was hired by another California disabled veteran business. And it was, within a day and a half, it was great.
In that sense, we walk the walk and talk the talk.
Yeah.
All the guys that work for me are disabled veterans.